Imagine giving everything you have to help others, only to lose your home in the process. What if that selfless act, that profound sacrifice, led to an even greater, more unbelievable twist of fate? This is the story of a man who gave until he had nothing, but found destiny had a different plan. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications bell. Here. Meet Mr. John Adebayo, a quiet accountant in his 40s, living in a modest apartment in Ikeja. John's always been the type that help others, but what if one act of kindness hides a darker secret? Let's get into it. John stared at his bank statement, the numbers blurring under the dim light of his desk lamp. His life savings, over 5 million naira, gone in a single transfer. He donated it all to the Lagos Youth Empowerment Center, a rundown spot in Ajigunle where kids from tough backgrounds learn skills to escape the streets. "I'm making a real difference," he whispered to himself, smiling as he hit send. The center's director, a woman named Mrs. Ezen, had pleaded for help in a viral social media post, and John, moved by the stories of at-risk teens, couldn't say no. The next day, the community exploded with praise. Local blogs called him a hero. "Selfless Samaritan saves youth center," headlines screamed. Neighbors clapped him on the back at the market, offering free jollof rice and cold minerals. But as the cheers faded, John's own bills piled up. Rent due, electricity flickering, his fridge empty. He thought he'd bounce back with his next paycheck, but the economy in Nigeria? Tough. Inflation biting hard. He overlooked it all, riding the high of his good deed. Then, one rainy evening, the eviction notice slapped against his door like a thunderclap. 30 days, it read. John's heart sank. His savings wiped clean. No family to fall back on, his parents gone, siblings scattered. "What have I done?" he muttered, crumpling the paper. But wait, was that a shadow outside his window? A figure watching? He shook it off as paranoia. Little did he know, this was just the beginning of the mystery unraveling around him. Alright, subscribers, if you're hooked already, like this video and share it with a friend. Let's keep the suspense building. John packed his few belongings into a worn duffel bag and stepped out into the chaotic Lagos night. His first night was rough and brutal. The streets of Oshodi, alive with hawkers and Danfo buses honking, but for John, it was cold concrete under a bridge, rain dripping through cracks. Hunger gnawed at his stomach like a wild animal. Just one night, he told himself, but days blurred into weeks. Mentally, it crushed him. Despair whispered doubts, was the donation even real? Did Mrs. Ezen pocket the money? He questioned everything, feeling invisible as people rushed past, eyes averted. Society's blind spot for the homeless hit hard in Nigeria, where survival's a daily grind. But then, small connections sparked. Under that same bridge, an old man named Baba shared his akra beans. "We've all fallen, my brother," Baba said with a toothless grin. A young woman, Chioma, offered a blanket, her eyes hiding her own pain. They formed a ragtag community, sharing stories around a flickering fire from scavenged wood. Yet, suspense lingered. One night, John overheard whispers, "That center, something's off. Big money vanishing." His ears perked up. Was his donation part of a scam? He spotted a familiar face in the shadows, a teen from the center's photos watching him. John's pulse raced. Hunger forgotten, he vowed to dig deeper, but the streets had their own dangers. A twist waited in the dark. Whoa, things are getting intense, right? If this story's gripping you, comment below, what's the twist? And subscribe for more edge-of-your-seat tales. Weeks turned John into a ghost of himself, thin, bearded, eyes hollow. Wandering Yaba Market one afternoon, he stumbled upon an old, dusty community notice board, half hidden behind a suya stand. Faded posters fluttered in the breeze, and there it was, mentorship program for at-risk youth. Apply now. Lagos Youth Empowerment Center. Irony hit like a slap. This program? For the very kids he'd saved. Pride battled necessity in his mind. Me? Applying for help from my own donation. He paced, heart pounding. But evictions sting one. He scribbled an application on scrap paper, hands shaking. The interview was set for the next day. Suspense built as he approached the center. The building looked shinier now, fresh paint gleaming. Had his money really helped, or hidden something? Inside, the interviewer was a sharp-dressed man in his 30s, Mr. Kelechi. As John sat, fidgeting, Kelechi's eyes widened. John Adebayo. The donor? The one who saved us? John's jaw dropped. Kelechi was a former kid from the center, turned success story. But wait. Kelechi leaned in, voice low. Your donation, it sparked questions. Missing funds before you. We thought it was over, but... A pause, dramatic. John's mind raced. Was there embezzlement? A mystery donor before him? Twist incoming, Kelechi slid a file across the table. You're not just applying. We need you. Subscribers, you're in for a wild ride. If you're not subscribed yet, do it now. Stories like this go viral for a reason. Kelechi, moved by John's sacrifice, revealed the truth. The center had been on the brink, but whispers of fraud lingered from the old management. Your donation. It exposed it all, leading to an internal probe. You're a hero twice over, Kelechi said. But for the offer. It is not as a mentee, but as coordinator. Your street smarts and your heart is perfect for guiding these kids. John's first steps back. Tentative. A small salary, a shared room at the center, roof over his head and hot meals. Purpose flooded back as he mentored teens, sharing his fall and rise. Kindness costs, he'd say, but it echoes. Emotion swelled in group sessions, tears flowing. Yet, suspense twisted. One night, John found a hidden note in his desk. Watch your back. Is the old director back? Mrs. Ezen. She'd vanished after his donation. Was she the thief? He murmured to himself. John investigated quietly, following leads through Lagos underbelly. The ripple. John's story spread like wildfire on social media. Volunteers poured in, donations tripled. The center thrived, but danger lurked. A confrontation brewed. John cornered Ezen in a dark alley. Why? He demanded. Twist, she wasn't stealing. I faked the plea to test true givers. Your act saved us, and exposed the real crook, my partner. Emotion hit, forgiveness? Or justice? John chose both, turning evidence over. Full circle. Alright, fam, we're wrapping this up, but what a journey. If you loved it, smash that like button, subscribe, and share. Let's get this to 1 million views. John reflected under Lagos' starry sky, true generosity. Not instant glory. It costs, hurts, reveals in twists you never see coming. His disaster sparked a chain, exposing fraud, rebuilding lives. The youth center now booming, programs expanding to Abuja and beyond. Fueled by John's spark. No longer homeless, he advocated fiercely, for street dwellers in Nigeria's megacities, for youth dodging crime's pull. Rock bottom. His foundation for change. Kindness isn't a straight path, he'd tell crowds. It's a mystery, full of shadows and light. If this twisted your emotions, subscribe for more suspense stories. Thanks for watching, everyone. What's your take on John's twist? Comment below. Subscribe for more suspenseful stories from Nigeria and beyond. See you next time, peace.